Once upon a time, stories did not exist. Words ran rampant, untamed and untethered throughout the world, a mass of nouns and letters tumbling across the earth like a raging sea. It wasn't until the chronicler herded the unruly verbiage into books and added them to their collection that stories started coming into being. But what happens when tales escape the confines of their covers? That, my dear reader, is something we will find out together.
I need to get back to where I'm from. My friend is waiting for me. Who else is gonna try and play Murder the Dragon with me? Well, I suppose a lot of these people.
Everyone thinks fairy tales are things of joy and happiness. Well, I can tell you firsthand that they're nothing but a bunch of little nightmares. They've taken everything from me, but I can fight. And nothing's gonna stop me from getting back to my Tam.
For as long as life has existed, I have served as its complement, its bloody sibling that all fear. I am Camilla, death incarnate, and my will cannot be denied.
A name. A name is for those who wish to be known. And if you find yourself in my presence, then you must know nothing.
Hey everybody! We're here after a week off with session 7 of Journey to Book's End. Oh, Angela, stop raising your hand! It messes up the...
I'm saying hello. I'm like doing my usual gesture. What do you want
No,
from me?
you hit the wave button in Zoom, which makes you raise your hand and it moves everybody's cameras.
I didn't hit any button. I swear to God.
I'm gonna blame your keyboard then. Anyway,
Body swap episode.
let's fucking go. Who wants to GM? Anyway, hi. Session 7, Journey to Book's End, Cypher System, using the We Are All Mad Here supplement, both by Monte Cook Games. I am Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am your page master for this campaign. We have no soul today. They are out, but we do have everybody else. And we've left off in a last tumultuous situation. So we're going to go around quickly, say hey, hi, who we are, our character, and their character sentence, and then we'll get into the recaps. So, Angela, you first, and then we'll go counterclockwise.
Hello there, lovely people. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Camila Gutierrez, a vicious god who sees beyond, and essentially a reincarnation and reinterpretation of Kamazots, the bat death god. I also have an additional section who also travels the woods, because fake queen.
Amaya.
Yes, me.
Hi, I'm Amaya. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Mishi, a guarded beast who speaks for the land.
And last but not least, Charlie, who's also going to do our recap.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie. I use he, they, she pronouns, and tonight I am playing Bonnie Janet, a strong-willed explorer who looked for trouble. You'd think I would know my character sentence by now, but I have to think about it a little bit every time.
I always have to look.
Yeah, there. And getting into the recap, where did we last leave off? So much happened yesterday. So it turns out that our good friend Camilla is, for all intents and purposes, the Queen of the Fae, which has been going great so far. While we were getting accustomed to the new royal quarters and seeking out information from the very helpful fairy-in-waiting Lucia, Onyx and Mishi got into some trouble in the kitchens, which I forgot about until I looked down at my in my notes. We found some pages left behind by the mysterious figure that was accompanying the last Fae Queen, that we have learned goes by Reed. And And to find out more information about them, we assembled the Fey nobles, some of which were a lot more frat bro-y than I think any of us expected. And some of them were, for lack of a better term, pardon the pun, stone cold bitches. My accent, am I doing this recap in character? Who knows? Certainly not me.
Schrodinger's accent.
Schrodinger's accent. It comes and goes, baby. Our dear Onyx had a heart-to-heart with their horse-sized raven friend Caulfield, and Caulfield deigned to join us in our adventures. I, Janet, narrowly avoided being cursed, thanks to one of my ciphers. And Camilla used her newfound power as queen to find out more information, a little bit more about our mysterious friend, and also more about my Tamlin. But ultimately, we decided to return to the library to go back to Dunsky to reassemble some more pages, reunite with our other friends, and see what's going on, only to find, upon returning to the library, that some of it was on fire. So we had to deal with that really quickly, and it actually went pretty well, all things considered. With just a few, I think the sports section of the library getting a little bit worse for wear, if I remember correctly.
It was the sports section. Yep.
Yeah. And with our owl friend Dewey heavily implying that fire might have been started by that bastard Reed.
All right. Before I get into that, hey, reminder, this is a charity game. We are $45 away from our next goal at $6.50, which we'll be giving away a gift card to Friday afternoon tea, which is fucking delicious. So put exclamation point donate. You can give please give my players some stuff. I have 2 nat 1s in my pockets, so I'm good for now. Give my players assets or natural 20s or ciphers, because I would love to roll more on the cipher table for them. Yeah, that is all I got, folks. All right. We are returning back to the scene of where the 4 of you came in. Well, 4 of you plus Caulfield came into the library, immediately accosted by the smell of smoke, with one of the bookcases on fire. With some smothering of clothing items, Mishi's summoning some assistance in the form of small Fae, and Onyx being instructed by Dewey to run to the nearest fireplace and grab a pitcher of water, which ended up holding a lot more water than should be physically possible. You were able to get the flames under control and dampened at the minimum into smolders, and it's all wet. The pages are wet. You're all wet because it kind of water got all over you. But it looks like that this is the only bookcase that was affected. When everything looks like it is under control, Onyx puts the little pitcher back down, puts Dewey down, asks Dewey where the book is to get to Skaha is, and lets you know that she's going to go on ahead because she has some things to take care of. Like, her and Caulfield are going to go.
Right.
And they skedaddle.
Don't get into too much trouble. Who am I kidding?
Dewey is on the ground, looking very distraught as they have turned back into a bird, a raven, some kind of corvid, and it's just like hopping around, pecking their beak into the charred remains that are on the floor, and just making sad bird noises.
Oh, are you alright, Dewey?
No! Thankfully this wasn't the most important stack, and that the chronicler only just started to start taking information about, but it still should not have happened, and it's a loss. It's a good loss. It's a bad loss.
That wasn't your fault.
No, it's not, but
I think Janet just kind of scoops him up and starts holding him like a little baby.
a very pointy, papery baby.
It's fine.
He'll nuzzle into you for a second, and Mishi, your little fae friends have more or less like done what they could at your request, and they all just kind of like huddle around you and just like are looking up at you. Do you want anything else? Do you need anything else?
Mishi will look to Dewey and say, "Do you know the cause of this fire?"
Well, there's only one thing that could have happened, because there's nothing that can things don't just spontaneously turn into fire here. So I think it was somebody, because I felt someone come into the library and I thought it was you at first. And then I felt someone else come into the library and then you came and showed up. But in between both of that, the fire, and now some of the books are in places they shouldn't be, and I have to go find those and reorganize them and put them back, and then I don't even know what I'm gonna do about this one. I have to remove these from this.
Is there anyone else in the library apart from you right now and us? Should there be? I'll clarify.
There shouldn't be anybody in the library, but I can't think of anyone else, because I gave only one pen to you, but I felt two.
Misha will turn to the minor fae and say, first one to locate and summon another being that is currently in this library to me will get a nice juicy fish.
What level was your cipher again, or what level creatures did it summon? Because I can't remember.
Let me look.
I am also going to look and scroll all the
These were level 3.
So the fae.
I'm not asking them to like beat him up, just like go look.
Right.
If you find someone, come tell me where they are and you get a fish.
Okay, so it doesn't really give a level to the fae, so I'm just gonna go say that they're the same level as the spirit ring. So they all most of them go scrambling off at first, but one of them sticks around. It is one with a fish head with the big and
Ooh, awkward. Ooh.
Yeah, it's got
Hey, fish eat fish all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
It opens its mouth and you can see some teeth in there, and anyway, but it's attached to like seaweed and like algae and twigs and stuff, and one of its hands actually like reaches up to your hand and just begins like picking out things out of its body and putting it in your hands, and it's just putting like, it puts like 6 beans in your hand for you.
A welcome offering.
These beans feel magical.
You don't.
Janet,
say.
I still do not have pockets.
Do you need me to hold on to your magic beans for you?
Did the fur coat thing that Janet's dad gave her, did that have pockets? I forget.
I don't know if we ever discussed it.
I think you can MacGyver a pocket into it, like a small one. Yeah, why not?
Mishi, if it has like a hood, she just puts them in the hood.
Perfect. A+.
Hell
Yeah.
Do we want to know how the fish fae got those beans?
No, why would I?
Fair enough.
And then after it gives you the beans, it begins to like scamper off with the rest of them. They all like scatter into multiple different directions.
Algae and seaweed clump with a fish head?
And sticks and stuff, yeah.
Cute.
How does it move?
Don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it too hard.
It's best I don't, for my own well-being.
Yeah. They're just weird little guys.
Your own well-being.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was not my best work.
No, it wasn't.
I laughed.
Thank you.
I laugh, but also
You cringed internally.
not even eternally.
Externally, even.
I'm just a silly little guy. So, do we want to wait here to see what your friends bring back, or should we forge on ahead?
We can also search. It may go quicker. They are many in number, but not in wisdom.
Yes.
Fair. Right. Well, what's our priority? Getting these pages back to Anansi like we talked about, or finding this other guy?
We should prevent more fires if possible.
Yeah,
Yes?
it's fair.
Would
Yeah.
probably be for the best.
Yes, I would really like no more fires in the Chronicler's collection, please.
Right.
It is very
Dewey
big,
is
and I
also
am very
flammable.
Yes, I am very flammable. I also do not have hands to use the pitcher.
Inconvenient.
Yeah.
Can't you shapeshift into a monkey or something that has hands?
No. I only have a
What
couple.
are the rules for you, Dewey? What can you turn into?
I can turn into ants. I can turn into a fox, an owl, a couple corvids.
Raccoons have hands.
Raccoons is
matter-
not one of the things I can turn into.
Sorry, you can turn into multiple types of corvid, but you can't turn into a raccoon.
No, I can turn.
Alright.
I can turn into an elbis, a bird.
Okay.
Why so many birds? Why only birds?
Well, a lot of birds are symbolisms of knowledge and wisdom.
But not good at handling books.
So am I, and I have hands.
Well, I didn't make me.
Right. We're
It's a sore
I
spot, okay?
add
I
that to the
understand.
list of things we're going to talk to the chronicler about whenever he shows his feckin' face. Because we're going to have words, believe you me.
Why doesn't your servant have hands?
There's a joke somewhere in here about if he doesn't catch our ear and listen to our words, he's about to catch some hands and then give us some hands. There's a joke in here somewhere.
We got
but I
there.
can't
We
find
got
it.
there. We stuck the
Wow.
landing.
Wow.
It's more like someone who parachuted in and had to kind of like run very
Skid for a
quickly or
bit.
crash on the ground.
Okay. So, we're going to track down this person first. And then go meet
Kill
up with
them.
Onyx and the others. Well, I don't know if we need to kill them.
Can I come with all of you, please?
You also
Of
want to kill them.
course.
Yeah, because I think some books were moved around into different sections and it feels weird and I need to put them back.
Well, that's just annoying.
Yeah. They kind of
Okay.
I think they got moved around during the fire.
Interesting.
So I didn't notice right
The
away.
fire has hands.
What?
What? Let's go.
Just make the statement: the fire has hands.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
somebody clip that out of context. Just Amaya just
As
saying
soon as we're done
fi-
streaming, I got you.
the fire has hands.
At the just after the 25-minute mark.
Alright,
Charlie.
chef.
But yeah, we go looking.
Go
Yeah.
looking. All right. Are y'all going together or are you splitting the group?
Well, I think we should go. We can all stay together for now.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of other mini fae scattered around, also
Yeah.
covering ground. So.
They're skittering around. Okay.
Yeah.
Can Sochi go looking as well, or do you want?
She can.
Or you can keep. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do with your pet, but you know.
You hear indignant squeaking at the sound of pet.
What? Sorry. What's the title? Is she a companion? Is she a familiar
She is a
Servant?
friend. She is a
friend? I'm sorry.
Sochi. I feel like Sochi can understand other people, but she can't talk to everybody.
Yeah.
No, probably to everyone else. It's the kind of thing where you know that, like, if you're talking to your relative who doesn't speak like the language being spoken in the area and is just like cursing in another like language, but it's just bat squeaks, and I'm just sort of like kind of translating, but maybe keeping some of the more colorful bits.
It's the Cliff Note version of the translation.
Also, Mare, I did think that you were going to say Sochi can understand most people, but not Janet because of her accent.
I was gonna say that it feels like Mishi would be able to communicate with creatures like Sochi, but then that would make Janet the only one who can't.
Honestly,
Listen, there's a lot of things I'm the only person who can't do them in this group. I'm used to it.
but yeah, no, Sochi crawls out of your hair and is clinging to your blouse.
Well, what's left of my blouse, to be honest?
You said you were using your pashmina.
Yeah, I was kidding.
You're probably covered in soot and ash.
I am covered in soot and ash everywhere.
Do you need to... I offer my handkerchief. Do you want to wipe yourself off?
I would be fine with this.
I don't hit you. She sneezes at the ash. What do you need me to do? I can look around. You need me to look around for?
So we're hoping for Sochi to also help us find somebody.
Sure, yeah.
If you see anyone not particularly...
You looking for someone suspicious?
Yes.
Okay.
If you would not mind.
I know what suspicious humans look like.
We also have a drawing of this guy, don't we? From his story?
It's not like it's a very simplified drawing.
Nah. Oh well.
I also think while Janet is passing over the handkerchief, I think Camilla looks at her. What happened to your necklace?
Which necklace? And I go to look for the... Put
You
my
have
hands
like
around...
2 necklaces on right now.
I, Charlie, have 2 necklaces on.
You had 3, but it boiled down to 2 after the one that broke.
I had 3. What's the other one that
You
I
had
have
the
on?
one, you had the ring, you have the pendant, and then you had the cat C medallion.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So she had multiple necklaces.
That's too much jewelry for a straight person.
Well, it's good thing Janet's not straight.
That's
then.
currently
I don't know what
under
to tell
review. That's currently under review.
Just saying.
Janet is... Oh, that. Yeah, it shattered when that curse bounced off me back in the Fey realm. I'm fine.
Meant to.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Did you tell Camilla about the curse?
Camilla knows that because I said in front of the entire court which one of you motherfuckers cursed me, and we just didn't tell you when we found out who it was.
Right. I'm trying to make sure that I have that detail, because there is like a moment of like just an eyebrow being like, there's a specific nerve like around her temple that normally would not be as apparent.
Yeah.
The moment you mentioned that.
Sochi does scramble off of Camilla's shoulder and then flies off. Charlie, she clips you with her wing.
Ow! I said I was sorry. Jeez.
She's very particular about how she likes to be referred to.
Of course.
We have a very distinct dynamic that we prefer to
Not a
have
fucking
respect.
pet. I am a trusted advisor.
She's like this big.
Yes.
She is very tiny, as we have found out that bats can be extremely small.
Yeah.
But no,
I should have chosen my words more carefully. That is on me.
you're fine. Sochi will grow to like you soon enough.
She's feisty. I like her. No, the medallion was a curse repellent, and it did its job, and now it's gone. So hopefully we don't run into any more curses, because that would be not good.
But yeah, no, Janet, in addition to the ring that she's had this entire time, she also has that pendant now that is really ornate.
Oh yeah, and then I found this in my stuff before we left, and Lucia took a look at it. It's like a scrying thing where I can take a look at specific people. Hold on. I think I took a note on what exactly it does.
Out of character, it works like a crystal ball.
Yeah,
and a
like a
scrying spell in D&D.
Yeah, so I've actually been meaning to use it. I want to see if I can find Tam with it, but I'm sure I could also use it to find other people if we needed to. Wait, fuck! Why don't I just use it to find where the guy is?
that would be helpful.
While that conversation is going on, Mishi, what are you doing?
Just there listening. Yeah, I think she's like keeping an eye out if any of the Fae come back with like information, but otherwise it's just like walking with them, looking around.
Are you actively searching?
Yeah.
All right, make me a roll.
Like not straying too far from the others, but
yeah. You're looking for clues around here. If you have anything regarding tracking, searching,
I think I might.
Yeah, I feel like that's something you might have, but I cannot remember.
I have wilderness navigation and identifying plants and creatures, which neither is tracking. Didn't Janet have tracking or something?
Janet has finding like a path finding.
Yeah, I'm good at figuring out where to go next.
I'm gonna use one of my Blessing of the God abilities.
Okay.
Which is spending 3 points of intelligence to target up to 3 creatures, which will be myself, Janet, and Camilla. And I can ease a particular task for 1 minute, which I would like to do, like searching.
Sure, absolutely. So you'll decrease that by 1. Let me look at see what kind of this would be. I would say this would be difficult. So this would be a challenge 4 originally. You just brought it down to a 3. Can you spend I'm assuming you can also spend effort on that. So did you want to spend effort too?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so you would spend like 6 intellect total, I think. Unless you have I
have an edge in intellect.
Yes, so it'd be 5 total. Yes. 5 total points.
Okay, I thought effort was 2 points. It's 3?
Oh, nope. It's 2 separate tasks. So, yes, it'd be 4 total. So it's each thing. So you did your god thing, so it'll be you spend 2, and then it would be intellect, spending edge effort on the intellect. So yes, my bad. So it'd be a challenge 2.
All right.
So you roll a 6.
That's not 20.
All right.
Why does this keep happening? I swear.
Okay, so my question is do you have any ideas for a major effect that you would like out of this?
I'd like to not only find him, but find him in a position where he's like distracted, back turned, like she wants to jump on him.
Okay. Out of character, he's not in the library right now. He has since yeeted, but you can pinpoint to where he's been. How about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you are able to easily and quickly see you were able to catch a scent basically on the ground of where he was and where he has been. So he didn't come in the library near the area where he set the fire, but from what you can tell, he set a fire. You smell just the smell of burning, and you're able to follow the scent of smoke on him mixed with paper that gross human smell and some leather, and able to begin to follow where he went. The trail leads it's not close. It's going for stacks and stacks, and he makes a couple stops. Are the other two of you following as well? Once it seems like Mishi has gotten a scent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, first things first, it looks like he goes to a couple stacks and everything looks okay. Dewey is very intrigued about what you're doing, and he pops up and he's like, "Oh, wait, he stopped here?"
Yes.
And he's looking at books and stuff, and he's like, "Okay, everything's okay here. Tally ho."
If you hurt Dewey in
I
any
love
capacity,
Dewey
Mare,
so much.
I will revolt.
Dewey?
I will seek a union.
I make no promises, but Dewey is the closest to plot armor right now.
Listen, if he doesn't help in combat, you can't hurt him.
So pets have plot armor in my games.
Yeah.
Dewey is close
whole
to
person.
that. Closest to that. We'll see. I make no
That's a
promises.
human
yet.
person.
And he goes, he makes another couple, the scent makes another couple stops until Dewey's gives the okay. Looks like, oh, everything looks okay. It looks like he was rummaging around. Flip that book back upside down in the right way, please. Okay, and then going on. And then eventually the scent leads to a section labeled, it's just labeled TTRPGs. But none of you know what that means.
Titterbridge?
I thought I could read, but I can't read.
Apocalypse World. I've already lived through many of these. What is this?
Wait, what was that first word? What did you say?
Apocalypse World. I've already lived through several of these. Why would anyone willingly want to go through this?
Call of Ketele. Don't know that word.
For the Queen. What is for the Queen? This is an improper statement. Why wouldn't they finish the statement?
Insert 20 more TTRPG jokes.
Monster of the week. Why only one a week?
There's these sword lesbians?
What?
What?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How does one make a sword a lesbian?
Damn, these swords gay.
And then, finally, he stops in front of a section, and Dewey's like, "There's a book missing, right here." And he points with his beak. Does the scent keep going? The answer, yes.
Yes, he did not leave from here.
Okay. For those of you who can read, it looks like there's a book missing from a section called Monte Cook, by someone written by Monte Cook.
No, wait a dang minute.
I'm concerned.
This just got meta.
Yeah, meta. Same
This is-
writer, different franchise. Which you should be very concerned about.
God, why is this? For whatever reason, Camilla tries to look at one of the books. Is why does this seem so poorly executed, and all the female characters seem terrible? Oh, it was edited by Joss Whedon. That makes sense. Just sets it down.
I love how Camilla knows who Joss Whedon is.
Listen, hatred of Joss
First
Whedon
knowledge.
extends beyond centuries, beyond all realms of time. Across all multiverses, Joss Whedon hatred is justified.
Please note these are our own opinions and not the opinions of Sword and Key.
Carry
But
on.
also maybe.
Also,
I'm not going to speak for them, but I highly doubt that anyone on the channel is supporting Joss Whedon. Anyway, continuing on.
Mishi's very determined and is just trying to find where he is and where he went.
Okay, yeah. The ascent does continue on, and it leads to further into the library, to eventually a part that is actually a little dusty, and to where eventually, like, Janet, you can't smell him, but there are footsteps on the ground.
This section, Dewey.
I think this is like some of the chronicler's first parts of his collection. So there's a lot of old history and stuff from very old creatures that they've talked to.
Okay.
But I don't know why he would bring the book all the way over here.
She keeps following the footsteps.
Yeah. And eventually, like, at a midpoint in one of the bookshelves, probably, like, on a shelf that's just out of reach, like 7-8 feet up, it looks like there is a slightly newish book that was put back upside down. Yeah.
Grab's book.
Yeah, the book is titled Secret of Silent Streets by Monte Cook. And there is a dog-eared page.
Open that shit.
For out of character, just so I can talk about one of my favorite systems ever.
Oh my god.
And I can run this system in another campaign. This is a system by Monte Cook Games called Invisible Sun, which is a very surreal, wacky setting. It's like, I'm not going to go into it, but it is one of the setting books, supplements for that system. And it is currently located, the dog ear is on a page talking about a library called Mentors. And Mentors, let me just open it up really quickly and give y'all the Cliff Notes version.
Reed is just a nerd.
Reed is yes. Well, no, the chronicler is a nerd.
Oh, I thought this was like the book was
that
put here by Reed.
Oh, sorry, Reed. Yes, I thought you meant Dewey. My bad. Sorry. Brain is getting the wires crisscrossed. But it's talking about a library called Mentors, which is said that it is the biggest library in this fictional setting. And no one knows how big it is. Like, it is so big that there are people that have gotten lost in the stacks and built their own civilization in there.
That's pretty sick.
It is really cool. I'll send you, like, the screenshot, the actual snippet. Unless you want me to read it right now.
You're in charge, man. I don't know.
I can read it if you want me to. It's literally, I'm just literally pulling from the supplement book right now. Right. I'll read it super quick for everybody. Okay. Mentors Square. This square has a clock tower in each corner, each showing a different time. The locals have all their favorites, and conflicts over various clocks can become physical. What you might not realize when walking past is that the square also offers the entrance to the largest library in the city. It's ostensibly located underground, although some argue that miles of shelf-filled tunnels are actually an extra-dimensional realm all their own. The library, just called Mentors, employs at least 500 librarians. Some people claim that the library is infinite, but that seems implausible to most. No one librarian in Mentors, even Arav Khatri, the head librarian, knows the entire layout. However, they all have their areas of expertise, but there are so many of them that not every librarian knows all the other librarians, let alone all their specialties. Mentors can be a confusing place, but in theory, every book is there. Every book. Finding the right book, on the other hand, can be quite difficult. The library is so vast that some people have become lost within it. These so-called people of the stacks have formed bands and now live out their lives, or their descendants live out their lives, amid the books with no intention of leaving. The librarians do what they can to stay on friendly relations with the people of the stacks, who have developed their own language and customs. The people of the stacks feed on rats and other vermin they hunt, as well as certain kinds of edible fungus that grow on the books in the lower levels. They speak of creatures much larger than the rats down very deep in the stacks, but they don't share much detail. It would seem, however, that the deeper into the library one goes, the more it becomes an independent world than a library, and in between it is both at once, with books filling what would seem to be meadows in a forest or grottos within caves.
Cool. Is there a place like this? Is this what this is? This library? Or is this a different, seemingly infinite library?
Dewey is looking over your shoulder. No, that's not this place. There are definitely walls somewhere. And it's definitely not miles long.
Maybe just
do you use kilometers here instead of miles?
At this point, I would say that your friends, Mishi, have come back.
What did you find?
Some of them don't have anything in their hands except maybe like them filching their own little books or shinies. But the ones that do look like they have found something interesting hand them up to you, and they're a little wet, so the paper that they hold up to you is slightly damp. It looks like there's some notes and a couple pages of a book that seem to have, they tell you they found. Smell like human.
Mishi remembers she can read and looks at the papers.
One is a paper. Let me pull up my notes so I don't give you a duplicate from what I did before. One of the pieces of paper matches the ones from earlier. The one that you found, one that was with Anansi, and the one that you found in his room in the Fey Realm, of an older woman with holding hands with a star, with a sad-looking older man that you now know to be Reed in the background, like reaching out to them, like, no. The other ones seem to be book titles and notes next to them. Some mention Maze ? Others have the Secret of Silent Street title with it circled and like a little arrow saying, good hiding place here. The other one, Camilla, what was the name of your book again?
I don't think we actually established like a proper name for it. I think it would have just been something much more generic, like myths and legends of the Quiche.
So myths and legends of the Quiche. There is a note below that saying Jibaba, and underlined a couple times. And there's a couple miscellaneous notes of some stories preserved in glass, how to incorporate ? And then there's like a couple other places, like there's a lot of titles that are like crossed off, but it's usually like, it's a lot of brainstorm. It's a brainstorming. It looks like some kind of brainstorming document.
And these notes were alongside just like pages from his book that were just lying around?
It looks like they were, if asked, the Fae tell you that they were like kind of like crumbled and like in the middle of like the edges. Like they kind of like, it doesn't look like they were intentionally placed there, more like lost, like in a hurry.
What is this guy's deal?
Is this the end of the path? The book that we found high on the shelf? That's where his trail ends?
Yeah.
Did he jump into this book?
There's also on the back page, like one page is like a lot of dangerous locations, and the other page has a couple other ideas of more pleasant things. The big one that is pointed out, though, is the not St. George and the Dragon, whatever Onyx book was called.
The Princess Must Escape.
The Princess Must Escape. Castle is a good home. And that's like circled. New home? Question mark?
I thought this guy was trying to get back into his own story, same as us, but it sounds like he might be trying to make a new one for himself.
Or hide while he does so.
Incorporate. He tried to stitch shards of one of the glass stories onto a piece of paper. It's like he's trying to... I don't know. I saw this word in one of the other pages. It kind of, I don't know the meaning of it, but it kind of makes sense. Frankenstein these stories
I was going to say that before. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Should we return pages to Anansi, then go after Reed?
We'd have to figure out. Can we tell if, like, he hopped into one of these books in this section?
There's no way to tell if, there's no definitive trail to tell if someone jumped into a book. But it is a safe assumption if Mishi can't chase the trail anymore, it's a high possibility. The trail does straight up end here.
Can I pull out my pendant? The scrying pendant?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of go. I don't know how it works. Just trying to, like, is this thing on? Just like, show me the traveler we know as Reed.
All right, let's see how this works.
Magic stuff.
This allows the user to scry, view remote locations and creatures. You must use a difficulty 2 intellect task to activate the crystal ball. Then use an action trying to make it show a person or location they know. You must succeed on an intellect task against the level of the target, otherwise the crystal shows only indistinct or misleading images. The task roll is modified by how familiar the target is to the user, how available they are to be viewed, and how far away they are. So you only have a name or description.
Mm-hmm.
So it is hindered.
Yeah.
They are unwilling. Hindered.
Oh no.
More than 100 miles because we're dealing with extra dimensional
Interdimensional stuff.
So you have 3 hindrances.
Jesus.
I do need to figure out the level of this dude.
I did give everyone the buff to finding things, if that would apply here.
Hey!
You would need to reactivate it because it's been more than a minute.
Ah.
But you can. I will allow it.
Yeah, that's probably worth it.
So, Janet needs to make an intellect 2 task.
Yeah, I'll activate
Okay, so
it.
I have to make an intellect 2 task just to turn the thing on.
Yes.
And then I have God. All right. I'm gonna save my effort for the actual task. So let's just pray I hit a 6.
Let's go. You can do it.
8. Okay.
You did it. I'm proud
did
of
it.
you.
Thank you.
Turned it on.
I turned it on.
Begins to sparkle and feel warm in your hands.
Well, I've always been pretty good at turning things on.
Heyo. Heyo.
I'm so sorry.
Was that in character or no?
It's up to you.
I'm not making that decision.
Noticeable blush over Camilla's face.
Oh, I need to figure out the level of this thing.
Yeah, tell me what I'm rolling, I guess.
You have 3 hindrances.
Hindrances.
Yeah, I don't think this guy in and of himself is very strong. This is just a random dude. So I'm gonna say he's actually a level 2 creature NPC.
Okay. So the baseline was level 2 plus 3 levels of hindrances brings it up to a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 1 hindrance because of Mishi's thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 4. I'm gonna spend
is it-
effort.
Sorry, what were you
Is
going to
it-
say?
Is it possible for Camilla to help by sharing her sight with Janet, or would this not be possible?
I don't think this would be possible. It's because
Okay.
you're seeing through a magical item and stuff.
Makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna spend effort. So because I have an edge in intellect, I only have to spend 2. But I only have I have 7 intellect points. My brain is starting to be tired, y'all. Janet's is. Okay, so -1. So it was it 2 plus 3 minus 2.
So about
So
a
now it's
50-50 chance roughly. So,
so
you
it's
need a
yeah.
9.
So it's a level 3 challenge
Yeah,
now.
which means you need 9 or above.
Yes.
Okay.
You can do it. Now is a great time to like gift assets and ciphers to my players.
Could be nice, chat.
It'll go to a good cause, PCRF.
Could be nice. 14.
Yes.
There you go.
I will say that you can all like peer over this pendant because it shows the pendant itself begins to like swirl a little bit as you focus in on this person you've only really seen once in like a magical scrying ability that Camilla pulled out. And you see this middle-aged man, Mishi, running in a very familiar forest. And it eventually opens up into a very familiar lake with a canoe near it. And he gets in this canoe and begins rowing off in the middle of this lake.
Is there an island in the middle of the lake?
There is. And it's a very familiar looking island.
Sorry, Mishi's seeing this as well?
If you're looking into the pendant, yes.
And if not, I would probably be describing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
She's like actively growling.
How long does it? Hold on. How long does this item last for? Hold on. In addition, it calls for. The crystal shows the creature area for 1 minute before the image becomes muddled and the artifact must be activated again. Okay, so yeah, I'm assuming you didn't open the two-way communication.
No, I don't. I don't want to talk to him just yet.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you are not able to see. It cuts out essentially after he started rowing.
How did he get there?
Yeah, isn't your story shattered? How did he
Thought
get
so.
to? What about the one that's not shattered? Isn't this also a story from your land? Could he have gotten there through there? Just in a different time than yours?
We are holding that one, though.
There might be more.
But if it ended, his trail ended here. He was never in my section of the library.
Maybe he took a detour there first, took it with him, and then decided to jump in there from here.
The trail, Mishi, it did wind over at each other. Since you got a natural 20, you are able to tell that he never went to your side of the library. You caught all trails. You followed it to the nose.
Did it go past, like, stories that may have been set in the same area, but maybe not, like...
Did not.
No?
No.
Dewey,
Yeah.
if one has possession of one of these pens, can they enter a book from anywhere?
No. You have to... The pen only lets you get out.
But entering is just having some aspect of the book in your possession, or at least the story in your possession?
So you can't enter a portion of a story, okay? You have to get in a bound book.
Or a intact orb.
Or yes, an intact story.
No pages and no shards.
Can I look around to see if there's an abandoned story orb around here somewhere?
There is not.
What the fuck? Who is this guy?
I kind of want to write down his workshopping page for y'all. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. Do some handwriting analysis.
I think Mishi's gonna go to her section of the library and start seeing if there's any, like, I guess any orbs that would make sense that are there right now that maybe he had, like, taken at some point. If there's, like, an empty spot on the shelf.
So I will say, now that you know what the guy smells like, you can catch his scent here, but it's much older. So he was here previously, but the scent is older than what you just smelled.
He had it with him when he came back.
So is there, like, any empty spots on the shelf aside from the intact orb I took and my original story?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else he took. I want to say yes, but nothing specific is coming to my brain right now. Definitely something that's been set in your time frame, your neck of the woods, but it doesn't match what you just saw in the pendant.
I look for Ayas's story.
That's a good one. That one is missing. Thank you for reminding me. Because the one that you were taken from was when you lost your tail. Yes, thank you. Ayas's is missing.
But it would have been left behind if he jumped into it. And we haven't found it anywhere.
Which is probably why. Did he move a bunch of books around because he knew that Dewey would be able to tell if one specific story was missing? But if he moved a bunch of them around, he'd get confused?
That is a... Or they might just be gone. I can tell they're missing, but I can't always tell where they are.
Is it possible for people to take things out of this library?
I don't know. This is the first time it's really happened.
We've found pages and shards in the Fey realm, so they had to have been taken from here.
This
we
is
know
a very new occurrence. You and everybody that went to Skaha's place this is all very new. This has never happened before, so I don't know what's supposed to happen or what's not supposed to happen.
It's okay. We're figuring it out together. We know that when a story is broken into pieces, those pieces can be taken into other stories. And we know that generally, when you jump into a story, the physical version of that story is still there here in the library. Like we didn't take the Skaha's book into Skaha's story with us.
Right.
The orb, Janet, that I gave to you, we've had that since the beginning. That was able to come with us.
Yes, but we don't bring the physical aspect of the story into the story. We can take other pieces of stories with us as like in their form as trinkets or physical objects.
Like I don't even know how he broke some of the books in the stories. He shouldn't be able to do that. Only the chronicler can do that.
Well, what happened with our stories? Because when we were pulled out of our stories, all of our books were broken. Missing pages, shattered into glasses, and Onyx burned hers up a little bit.
Yeah, my guess is that Onyx was able to burn hers because it was already broken. But if it was still intact, she shouldn't have been able to do that.
Right. I tried to shatter that orb and it did not work.
Page Master?
Yeah.
Is there any way that I could try and use see beyond, the ability that I have to detect something lingering that that most folks can't normally see regarding like what he might have done to the books?
What? So you're just trying to see like what he might have done in terms of like maybe like lingering magic or something like that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, but you do need to make a check for this.
No. I assume it's a check.
Yeah, I will say you can make a check. This is going to be a hard check because this is unfamiliar territory. Because you don't know how he would do this or anything. So I'm going to say this is... I'm debating between 5 or 6. I'm going to say this is a 6. This is an intimidating check. This is very unknown magic. This is also old. It's an old trail as well.
If I make it about him, like his actions, would that enable the skill that I have in tracking creatures to be applicable?
I will allow it, but I wouldn't say this would happen all the time.
No. I don't assume that. I assume that this is like a special case. So if it is a 6 and I have see the beyond, which is enabling this, so that would ease the task because when looking for things, eventually hitting the task is eased. But I would assume along with this, it also helps easing it because even though I can't automatically see it, it's probably helping with the task. So that's to a 4, and then I will spend. It is normally 3, but I have an edge in this, so I will spend 2 to bring it down to a 3. So same deal as Janet, 50-50.
So 50-50.
You got this.
17.
Yeah, so you're not gonna you won't be able to see like as like a specter of like what he did and with his actions. This is all going to be speculative. But you kind of see energy remnants, I will say, of when all of these books around here, everywhere, have a very faint trace of energy about them. They have a power akin to somebody like you, but not. And Dewey also has a little bit of this power. Just like this spark that connects him with the library and with the chronicler. And as you're looking at broken books, broken pages, you feel an explosion of those threads being cut, allowing the books to be destroyed, if that makes sense, or torn. Kind of it's similar to a like affects like situation.
I think for Camilla, it's like it's almost like she has like the way that like echolocation, like it bounces back waves back to her to view things, except the traces of magic, because they're tied specifically to books and because of her now Fae connection, it's almost like roots and the parts of trees that used to be there that have now been converted into book pages. All of the traces come back to her. They're for lack of a better word, they are the blood of books, which is how she sees most things. But now it's like the transformation of all those things, and she describes all of the things that you described. It says, Dewey, what would allow someone to have a power like yours?
What do you mean?
Whatever is hurting the library and is hurting the books, it has a fragment of what you have connecting you to the library.
Oh.
So what would let someone do something like your powers, except to harm the books instead of protecting them or shelving them.
Dewey sits in his sits on the ground. Or whoever, are you still holding him, Janet?
I'm sure I let him like fly alongside us, but like he can come back into my arms if he wants to.
He's probably just sitting on the ground, being cute. Well, the only thing that really touches the books, before everything became a mess, is me, the chronicler, and whatever in the chronicler's tools.
Where does the chronicler keep his tools?
On himself or in his workshop. But he always carries tools with him when he's traveling and collecting stuff.
But would it be possible for someone to have either broken into the workshop or have stolen something from the chronicler?
Maybe?
It seemed pretty crafty. Sewing glass into leather.
Can you show us where the workshop is?
I can, yeah.
I'm inclined to believe that we should get the pages we do have to Anansi as soon as possible, so as to not risk them anymore. I trust Anansi to protect them, but I do think that this is also a priority.
Let's check this out while we're here, just so we don't have to double back.
Agreed. And, Mishi, I think you would make best use of this. And she pulls out the Heart's Tart cipher that she has. This is a sweet. It was given to me by the Fae, which I know, Janet, I know. But you are still under my protection, given my role in the realm. And also, I think that Mishi is best equipped to make use of this.
Out of character.
What is it?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Angela, go ahead.
This will make it much easier for you to get the surprise and jump on someone. And should you find yourself in a position of needing to take something or sneak around, this will also make that easier. It will only be for a short amount of time, for about 10 minutes, but it will help you on all of these things. Out of character, when eaten, eases all tasks involving stealing, picking pockets, sneaking, running, surprise, and initiative for 10 minutes.
What the fuck?
I'm like, do I give it to the bat lady, the punchy Scottish lady, or the cat?
Yeah.
Or our dragon, who is having a time right now. I think the cat.
So I'm guessing what Mur is about to say is that I'm currently at max ciphers.
Yeah, so
What if I feed them the cipher? I'm not giving it to them to.
Oh, you're not giving it now. You will feed it to her later.
Yes.
Oh, like when? Okay, because I was just gonna trade you for one of my current ones.
If you want
No,
to.
You want to trade?
Camilla did not even think about trading. She was just like, you could use this more than I could. Why would I hold on to it?
I think.
Do you want to trade?
This is for the in-character perspective. Mishi now sees Camilla as above her, considering her god status. So her being given something by Camilla isn't an offering. It's
blessing.
Yeah.
A boon.
And so then it would feel natural to return it with what she would consider an offering. So I'm gonna give the beans feels too silly because I was given that by.
This is how you respect a god. You give me a bean.
Beans are delicious.
It's like those if you give a mouse a cookie books. If you give a god a bean.
Someone draw it.
Someone draw it.
Got a bean. No, I'm gonna give Camilla the owl feather.
Ah, yes.
Ooh.
Because that seems like one that Camilla would make use for.
What does the owl feather do?
Let me read it.
Also, if someone draws that, I just want it to be that if you give a mouse a cookie front artwork, but it's just Camilla in a bat form, just staring awkwardly at like a cat, and just
Listen,
like the
I can
cat
do
is just passing a thing.
Listen, I can do a bad Photoshop if that's what you want.
You're here.
I'm okay
We
with
are
That makes it
here
better.
for bad Photoshop. We endorse
so
this on Sword and Key.
The cipher is called the Curse Bringer. The cipher
Awesome.
yeah, this feels like something that Camilla could make good use of. The cipher can be activated when given to an individual who doesn't realize its significance. She's telling you its significance, so it doesn't activate.
Okay.
The next time the victim attempts an important task when the cipher is in their possession, the task is hindered by 3 steps.
Jesus.
So it's like a sabotage thing. You give them a gift, and then it screws them over.
Now, if that doesn't scream Fae bullshit, I don't know what does.
I was gonna try it on Fafnir before he dragonfied, but then we had another plan.
Yeah, Nanto kind of fucked everybody over with that.
As he does.
So Mishi explains that it brings ill will and that it is a bad gift.
You just put it in your boobs.
Canonically, I'm the only one who has pockets. Where else is she gonna put it?
To be fair, yes.
Tits.
It
It's
is.
just a fucking old ass Jenna Marbles video where I'm just like pulling out random ciphers just buried in there. Just like,
Jenna
here's
Marbles.
keys,
We love you. We miss you.
here's owl
Wherever you are, I
feather,
hope you're doing well, Queen.
Yeah.
here's diadem of death. Why did I put the
Pet your
diadem of
dogs
death
for
in
us.
But so, I think we should approach the workshop. I think it's the best call to do for right now.
I'm gonna, before I forget, I'm just gonna send people the Heart's Tart and the Curse Bringer. Now that y'all are doing a swap-a-roo, if you can tell
Nice.
the other person the levels for it, that would be great.
Cursebringer is level 4.
I don't remember what level I gave the tart. I'm sorry.
It's 8. It doesn't change
Ooh.
anything. It's only for 10 minutes regardless, but it's still,
Some of
you
these
can feel special.
some of these ciphers don't need levels.
Yeah.
Whatever. During this like exchange of gifts, Sochi does return. She does not clip you again this time, Janet. And then she lands right in the middle of your chest, Camilla. And she chitters up at you. I didn't find anything.
That is fine. You did your best.
Do not take that feather.
Oh,
The feather is a cursed item.
I will leave it where it is.
Yes, treat it as akin to receiving a gift from one of the demons. It is a poor idea to follow up with it.
I will leave it where it is.
Camilla casually mentioning she just knows demons offhand.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah, Mishi didn't even blink at that.
No.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm used to this now.
Unfucking phased.
It's been like 48 hours.
I have been called a demon before, but this is inaccurate.
So have I, but less literal.
No, I actually respect both of you.
The demons are not great.
They're dedicated
So
to
I hear.
suffering. They are dedicated to human suffering and all of its intricacies. And neither of you remind me of bloating swarms, gut rot, or anything of that sort.
Ah, cheers, love. Thanks. Good to know.
It's a very low standard, to be honest. Though looks at Mishi, like recalls all of Mishi's occasions of how he approaches fish eating, and is just like, maybe I will rethink that opinion at some point.
So, Dewey turns into a bird because it's easier to get around when you're a bird and are flying. And Dewey ruffles his page feathers and he's like, okay, it's gonna be a little bit of a little bit of a hike. So, I'm gonna go. It's on one of the outer walls.
All right.
Okay. Let's go. And he starts flying. It is a long trip. I'm talking.
Mishi's like impatient because she knows that Reed's on her island and that pisses her off.
As we go, Janet will lay a hand on Mishi's shoulder and just be like, in hindsight of, in light of new information, I will say killing him is definitely on the table still.
If a human steps foot on my island, they die.
Of course, naturally. Let's try and get some information out of him first, though. Wouldn't want him to go to waste after all this trouble we put in to find him, you know?
Then I kill him.
If that's what you think is best.
Okay.
Okay.
He sounds so grumpy.
He's on my island. I have one job. Is to keep people off my
I
island.
have one job on the ship. One job.
Speaking of, if we do end up having to go to your island, would you prefer I stay not on it? Because I can hang back if that's a taboo thing.
I will decide when the time comes.
Alright, yeah, just let me know.
Would you prefer
I know
that
you are not there to steal.
Would you prefer that I also not make my presence known there?
You are of a different status than the human. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, question. What is my status in your eyes?
Kill on sight. Not you specifically, but humans.
Okay, alright.
Why do you have such hatred towards them?
They have only ever been violent and manipulative and evil.
To you or just in general?
I only know my perspective, but to me and the fact that I was created for the purpose of keeping them off the island.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of humans are fucking shifty.
You're traveling with a good one, though. I'm inclined to think so.
Oh, I'm one of the good ones, am I?
Yes. I've looked at hundreds and thousands upon you die and do many a thing across the moments when you die. Many of you are terrible, and many of you are very good. You seem like one of the ones who is pleasant and good.
I've only known one good human, and it did not last.
Well, I'm by no means perfect, but I like to think I do my best.
Waiting for a statement of Mishi of, like, you are tolerable.
I am not on my own land, so the rules have changed, but when I return home, I think I must return to solitude, and no humans can be on my island.
Listen, do what you gotta do. I don't know what the people who live near you are like. If they're a bunch of useless fuckers, I believe you. But you know, I'm glad you didn't kill me on sight. Let's just say, cards on the table. Thank you for not doing that.
You're welcome.
I don't mind that I didn't kill you, is the takeaway we have there.
I have yet to regret it.
Cool.
Good enough.
Try to leave it at that. Keep it in neutral.
As we're going over, I think just somewhere along the path as we're about to arrive at the workshop, a little bit beforehand, Camilla just simply like asks Janet if may I see your hand for a moment?
Sure.
and you see her, like, something that's been usually tucked within, like, everything else.
Don't give her the feather.
I know. I was there. I know what the feather is.
I was there, Gandalf. I was there on the day that humans.
Okay, the
Courage of men
men
faltered.
fell.
I was there
But
when
no.
it was written.
That's a different
Two
book.
different
but
references,
no.
but both work appropriately. She pulls out, actually, if you look at her artwork, she has like a necklace around her neck.
Oh.
And she pulls one. This one, it looks a little bit different than the artwork. I approved the artwork because I think that was very, very good, and it's also very fitting for her. But there's a little thing that she keeps attached to it that she doesn't normally show, and it's a small little depiction of an idol of a bat god on it. It is often kept for very ceremonial purposes. It is the kind of thing that someone would make to offer as a boon, or offer to give as an offering for a ceremony, in order to ensure that if you are approaching a god, you are making sure that they should not immediately kill you for doing something treacherous. It has no actual magical protection or anything, but she just passes it along to you, and she says, for your well-being.
In the background, Mishi and Dewey just go like,
You're running up with Dewey up front, seeing it in the background.
we just like make eye contact in the back.
You have the picture of the dude in the meme one who's like this, who's just like.
Thank you.
I do not care if when you return home, wherever that might be, if you sell it or do not care for it, but I would feel much better and feel more at ease if you had something to protect you.
She immediately puts it on and like tucks it under her cloak along with the other two necklaces she's wearing.
So many.
Jingle, jingle,
Three.
jingle, 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 jingle.
3 necklaces.
Listen,
3
I've worn
babies.
more.
2 from loves and 1 from an enemy.
Listen.
That's how it be sometimes.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen, I know who I am.
I think Janet kind of adjusts the necklace, and then her hand kind of goes to her cloak, and attached to the clasp of her cloak is this, also you can see in her artwork, a golden brooch in the form of a double-headed rose. And she kind of runs her hand along it absentmindedly for a second before she kind of unpins it from the clasp.
This is all happening while y'all are jogging after.
Listen!
I am a tall woman with a long stride. Don't give me any sass about this.
And I've got my good boots on.
We can be gay and
Cat.
punctual in our movements.
Gay and punctual.
Gay and punctual.
That's
my
just
new
like an
band name.
oxymoron right there.
Hey!
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oi.
You are wrong. Not every gay is late.
I know. I'm one of those that are not late, but I know a lot of late gays, okay?
Yeah, I know. They came out of the closet much later.
You know what I
think
mean.
did-
Continuing on with your...
Continuing on.
My roommate just messaged me, God, these lesbians are so corny.
Oi. Oi. We're not
Awful.
engaging in bisexual erasure here, Amaya's roommate.
Camilla also does not have a confirmed sexuality, so don't you judge me.
Anyway,
We can
Basically,
confirm
like-
sapphic vibes, though.
sapphic vibes are in the air.
Sapphic, we will grant you sapphic vibes all day, every day. 24/7.
Unfortunately, Janet's boy kisser status cannot be erased. She is never beating those allegations. But for now,
Get us back on
Listen,
track.
Tam
there.
is pretty.
she's so pretty.
Well, it was pretty.
takes-
It's fine. What? Nothing. Continuing on.
Do you want me to be gay or not? Jesus.
Finish your
Moving
scene
on,
so we can
continue-
go to break.
continue, gang.
I
It's
take
done! That's all! I was literally just about to put us just right outside of the workshop. Damn it. I thought you had to lead up to what it looked like and then the dramatic GM thing. I was like,
Okay.
nice scene is over. Now inflict horror upon us, Mare.
Well, I was just gonna stop here. You all wanted to come see the workshop, but Dewey just brings you to a door. Eventually, you finally, like, when you're all are jogging, this is like at least a 30-minute jog. You're like, yeah, it's a far way off because, you know, the frickin' walls are way off in the distance. But he does bring
Cardio.
you to what?
Cardio.
Yes, you guys
I
got
think-
cardio.
Charlie, did you have something gay you were about to do?
Yeah, I didn't even do
Sorry,
the gay
do
thing
your
yet.
gay.
Do the gay
I
thing.
fucking pinned the brooch onto Camilla's, like, dress. Jesus.
Sorry.
Oh god, that's real gay. No, I take it back. We needed that moment for that
Okay.
for that as well.
Okay.
Good.
You know
Yes, I unclasp the brooch, I pin it to her dress, just like about like shoulder area, and just go, this always brought me luck. It's not exactly magical god protection, but it's the best I can do.
End scene, Mare. Continue as you wish.
I will get to the workshop after break. All right. Anyway, we'll be back. 5-10 minutes, however long it takes. Stretch, pet your pets, hydrate. We'll be back soon. Bye. Hey, folks. We have returned from break. Yeah, we just left off with some gay shit and Dewey leading everybody to the Chronicler's Workshop, which is actually just he led you to the door of the Chronicler's Workshop, and you just come upon finally an outer wall. There's still a shit ton of bookshelves around, but there's probably like a little bigger space around the door. It's just very nice carved wood with basically words all around the frame, and there's a little sign on it that says workshop. And it's Dewey just like stops in front of it, and he's just like, here it is. It's locked. It should be locked. I don't think you'll be able to get in, but this is where the Chronicler's Workshop is. This is where he puts all of his stories and makes them into books.
Could we maybe look at the door, see if there's like any scratches on the lock, any evidence that it might have been tampered with recently?
Yeah, y'all can inspect it if you would like to.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is gonna be a really simple check. This is like a 2.
Okay. Intellect.
Yeah.
I make it.
I do as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been tampered with at all.
Can you get us in there, Dewey?
I'm not allowed in there unless the Chronicler is here. I don't have a key. Like, I guess I could technically push one of... he looks a little guilty. I could technically take one of my pages and turn it into an ant to go in, but
Dewey.
And then lock it from the inside.
I can't reach the door handle from the inside as an ant.
Could you take multiple of your pages and turn yourself into a whole colony of ants and do like a stacking?
Oh my god, you can teleport.
Dewey, like, as he's saying this, looks really guilty.
Listen, Dewey,
You have
If
to
we go-
convince him.
if we don't do this and we have to, if this person did take the Chronicler's tools and is going around willy-nilly, who knows how many more fires he'll set. This is for the greater good. This is to save the library.
Make me a persuasion check, Janet. Challenge 4.
Yikes. Okay.
Would me like suggesting and kind of being part of the conversation help or not?
Unless, no, because you have a hindrance.
I do have an inability for
So
this.
yeah, so to supply an actual like asset, you gotta have like a skill in it.
Oh, okay.
And you actively have a hindrance, so no, you may not.
People don't like me.
This wouldn't happen to be a task requiring intense focus, would it?
No.
Damn
If
it.
you were trying to pick the lock, I would say yes, but no.
Damn it. Well, we can try that next. Okay. So difficulty 4, so I have to get a 12? I don't know why I said it like that.
12.
12?
12.
12?
12.
Well,
12.
This cannot become the group's new vocal stem.
Oh,
We'll
no.
go crazy.
No, we can't. You're right, we can't. Resist
Shutting
the
it down
echolalia.
now.
Resist it.
well, it's better than the seagulls.
Stop it now. That was
Mine.
almost a nat 20. No.
Fine.
It was a nat 20?
It almost was, and then it bounced off the edge of my dice tray, so it's only a 10.
Yeah, Dewey shakes his head and he looks like, I really can't go against my master's wishes. He doesn't want me in there unless he's here, and I can't betray their trust like that.
Well, maybe if they were here, the library wouldn't have set in fire in the first place.
Dewey doesn't say anything in response to that.
God is my witness, we will get you into a union, Dewey.
Can you even have a union of one?
Sure you can! And if not, I'll be in the union with you.
I don't even know if the chronicler knows what's been going on. They haven't been back since everybody's come out of the books.
Where did the chronicler go?
I don't know exactly where because I never go with them, but they're traveling looking for more stories and people to talk to gather stories. They talk to people and then they make notes and then he puts them in the paper and in books.
So,
Does he travel into books to find these people to talk to, or where does he go to talk to people?
I don't know. I've never been with him before.
so just to recap this person's track record, they made an assistant for their library that cannot easily engage with books.
I can move them.
Left their workshop locked
don't have hands.
without a key in case of emergencies.
But I don't make books.
And left that left an entire library with one person to attend it and didn't fireproof the feckin' shelves.
Things shouldn't be on fire to start with.
It's called taking precautions and being organized and prepared, and I'm gonna have words with your boss when they get back.
Chronicler is a bit flighty.
You deserve better, Dewey. You deserve better working conditions.
But he's
You
a
are
good...
flighty. You are a bird.
Hey.
She's like completely straight faced.
There is a confused but nodding. Because you're not wrong.
Listen, I don't doubt that the Chronicler's a good person and takes care of you. I'm
I
just
doubt
saying
that.
they could do a better job of making sure that your job's easier to do. You're not disagreeing with me, Dewey.
I would like to attempt to break down the door.
You may do so.
Hey!
I was thinking it, but Mishi is like every invasive thought made manifest. in
Yeah,
a
it's
cat.
definitely like a cat seeing the Greebles. If you've ever heard that.
What?
The
Don't
Greebles. Okay, you know when they will just like they're just chilling and all of a sudden it's like, and then they go and like attack a shadow. Those
You
are
mean
the
the
Greebles.
Zoomies?
The Greebles. No, they're attacking the Greebles.
What in the
What is a
Canada is
Greeble?
this?
It's the like invisible shadow monsters that they all of a sudden just try to attack. It's the Greebles.
Is this a Canada thing?
So I think my friend just said it once, and I was like, "Oh yes, a common term everyone knows."
Greeble is a term used as it's basically an artifact.
An artifact. We just say it to refer to the little invisible ghosts that cats attack randomly.
Okay. I
Yeah.
gotta try and put this into my vocabulary vernacular now.
Greebles. Anyway, so Mishi is like looks like she's fully locked in on this conversation with Janet and Dewey, and then all of a sudden she's charging at the door.
Yeah, this is a challenging task because this is a solid wood door, so this is challenge 5.
Okay.
Yeah, cat go charging.
Yeah.
I need the slow. I need the slow-mo reactions from everybody.
We're definitely gonna effort.
All right. How many levels can you do? More than one, or
I can do 2 now.
Oh hell yeah.
So is that 6 points to do 2 if I don't have edge?
No, it's 5 points total.
Okay.
The first level of effort costs 3, and then each subsequent one after costs 2 extra. So it'd be 5 if you do 2 levels of effort.
Okay. So then it's difficulty 3?
Difficulty 3.
Cool.
So 9 or above.
Another nat 20. Come on, bud.
That one's a 3.
No!
It'd have to catch up with me eventually.
Yeah, it's not a nat 1, but you, Janet and Camilla, you hear a very loud thud. Very solid thud.
You're right.
I don't like doors.
It all comes back around, baby.
Why would you put a wall between yourself and the room you need to get into?
For reasons like this.
But now we can't get into it.
He doesn't want anyone in there.
But we need to.
But he doesn't want you in there.
Then you should be here to fight us personally.
Fight?
Yes, if you don't want someone to be somewhere, you fight them.
But
honestly, instead of doors, constant bodyguards just posted up at every entrance to anywhere.
Yes, that's
like...
what I am.
Yeah. That doesn't sound. It's not entirely unreasonable. It's what armies are for.
My life is fine. Anyway, I have an alternative method, but it is far more destructive.
Please don't destroy.
What is your suggestion, Misha?
I am going to destroy the door and potentially things around it.
What things around it?
I'm not sure.
Please don't destroy everything.
It will be less destructive than the fire, I can guarantee that.
Please don't. We just dealt with the fire.
I am open to alternative methods before I attempt this one, but that, I believe, will open the door. Or create a hole wide enough for us to get in.
You just hear distressed bird noises.
For Dewey's sake, Janet kind of like puts a hand up and just goes, honestly, what information would we get from there? Just like seeing whether or not the tools are still there. It doesn't change the fact that the Reed or whatever their name is somehow traveling in between stories that we don't have access to.
I don't feel comfortable letting you in, but I can maybe just put one ant in there and see if there's everything is there.
Yeah, why don't you just do that?
Okay, I'll be back. And one page just flies off of Dewey and like lays on the ground flat before it origami folds into an ant and like crawls under the door.
That's really cute.
While we're waiting, Mishi turns to the other two and says, I was going to use the beans to blow up the door.
Those beans are explosive?
No, there would be a large plant in its place, but if there's a large plant in its place, then there would be no door.
Okay. I guess that wouldn't have been too bad.
Dewey is still there. A majority of Dewey is still there. Please don't do
that. That's fine. Well, Sid, we have this alternative.
We can use the beads on Reed when we find him.
Yes. Launch Reed into the sky by having him atop of the planet as it grows.
That's terrifying.
And then, when he falls, I kill him myself.
Humans can't fly though, right?
No.
Not traditionally.
No, they can't.
Only once. I was hoping that joke would land.
That's good. Good shit.
It's kind of dark in here, but I can see decently well. It looks like there's everything is organized, but there are a couple of tools not here, like some scissors and a bone folder, and some leather and thread and an awl.
All that shit was in his room in the Fae Castle.
A bone folder sounds like something Camilla would own.
No, I know what a bone folder is. It's a tool used by people who work with paper to fold it, and
Fold
they're typically
bones.
made of bone. They're typically made of bone, which
They're
is why
folding bones.
They are typically made of bone, and apparently any modern materials do eventually wear away, but if it's made out of bone, it actually gets better with time and it's better quality over time. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Reed had access to this room.
Somehow. Maybe
But-
he broke in the last time the chronicler was here, snuck in unnoticed, took some stuff.
Or
Is it- Mhm.
or he maybe stole from the chronicler, and chronicler took extras from the workroom.
I mean, that too.
Is it possible that Reed is the chronicler?
No.
You
Why would-
sound sure, but have you seen Reed?
No, I have not.
I guess I show the drawing because we have a few of his pages.
We also have seen him through the pendant now, so we can describe him as just
Yeah.
like a raggedy looking man.
No. Chronicler's taller.
Why would the chronicler
This is
damage
a
his
piece
own
of paper.
books?
He is not actually this height.
Chronicler is tall.
In comparison to what?
Us?
Yeah. Probably about the height of your dragon friend.
Honestly, I was kind of envisioning him as like a giant.
Oh
'Cause
no,
of how
not a
tall-
giant.
Oh, okay. Cool. Alright, that'll be easier to punch him in the face. If needs must. If needs must.
Okay. Can What was that? You're not coming through?
You don't need to look into the room anymore, do we?
Okay. And the little ant crawls back out and like right into his body. And the little pages rustle together.
Do you have ants in your pants?
I don't wear pants.
Sorry, bad. Okay.
Not a
Donald-
real
he's-
ant.
Dewey's Donald Duck in this situation.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it, but Dewey would have asked you to grab that Secrets of Silent Streets book.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So he can put it back where it goes.
He would have actually asked. He said something was weird about it, because you said it was like that's where the trail ended, so he wanted you to bring it back.
Yeah.
With all of
Sure.
us.
Of course. Got it in the bag. In my little underskirt pockets.
I thank you for the fire help and helping look around. I'm sorry that we couldn't find him.
We must. He is at my island. We must find him.
If the trail ended where the everything was, he might have gone into a book. That's the only way out.
But is it possible that one of those books... What kind of books was that section?
Oh gosh.
Hold on, what did you say?
Did I
The TTRPG section?
No, it was-
No,
No.
we the trail stopped in like the oldest section of the library.
His, some of
Right,
his
right.
started his earliest books. Books can be brought into other books though, so what if he's in a
That
book?
perhaps he hopped into a book and then went to
Bookception.
Bookception.
Wah.
Misha's gonna go back to where the trail ended and look for, like, what kinds of books are these?
basically in history that you don't recognize. I'm just thinking like
That's
old-
kind of what I thought. So, Mishi's Island, this is a little bit above the table talk, but Mishi's Island is a real place that exists in the real world.
Correct.
So, if this is like some National Geographic type books, like talking about real places in the world.
True. When I think old, I'm thinking like ancient history, like dinosaurs and stuff like that, like that type of old.
Okay, no dinosaurs.
He might have gone into a completely unrelated story and then jumped into that orb.
The book that was up high that was the one that described the library, right? Like the other library?
The library, yeah.
And that was the only book that looks like it's been touched recently?
Dewey, can you usually tell by looking at a book if somebody's gone into it that doesn't belong there?
He opens his
Like
beak and closes it again and thinking really hard. I don't know. I've never tried.
That book has less dust than all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to where Dunska Buck is?
Sure.
There's a lot of people in that one, and might be easier to tell.
Okay.
If I can tell.
Like just running it by a group for peer review, or?
Oh no! Like I want to see if I want to like compare like a book where there is people and a book where there is people that belong, and books where people that are.
Oh,
belong.
you mean by like not going into the book, but like opening it
Looking
and
at the
seeing?
out-
I
yeah.
see. I understand. I didn't even.
Is there something noticeable about it from?
Yeah, like if
different-
it's just like, and Skaha lived in this cool castle, and also Anansi was there. Wait a minute.
As we're preparing to do this, Mishi's gonna clamber up and grab the fresh book about the library that she believes that Reed went into.
Well, we brought it with us.
Oh, we have it? Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
Reed wanted someone to grab it before.
Reed!
Reed?
Fucking
Plot
damn
twist.
it.
Do we?
He's been here the whole time.
I have an old character called Reed, so that's why I keep calling them Reed. And it wasn't even intentional.
I know.
Yeah.
I've had a DM give away a plot twist by doing that, though, by accidentally saying the wrong name, and we were all like, huh?
What?
Yeah.
So he wants to compare a book he definitely knows where there are characters that don't belong versus one that hasn't been touched, basically. To see if he can tell the difference, essentially.
Of course. Let's do that.
So I will say odds he can tell a difference and evens he cannot. Fair?
Oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up to dice because I don't even know the first way to handle this. Not even something I've considered.
I've asked a difficult question.
Yeah, so it's all going to be up to luck. So odds can tell the difference, evens cannot. Odds he can. I rolled a 1.
Let's go! The first time a 1 has done something good!
To be fair, I rolled a d10. I rolled it on a d10.
Oh, okay. Still.
So eventually you have to take the hike back to the Dunska book on your little.
Say, wow, we were doing cardio work.
You should have grabbed so much cardio.
We should have grabbed that book and brought it with us. Jesus Christ!
You have your like little rotating bookshelf that keep track of like the current books you're reading. Yeah, it's a hike. Takes some time, but eventually you do make it back to where y'all eventually jumped into Dunska, and Dewey picks it up in his beak and puts it on the table, and then grabs like a random book from like a high shelf that probably hasn't been touched in a while, and like puts it next to that book, and then he's just like hopping back and forth between the two, shuffling through the pages with his nose, his beak, whatever he ends up being. Like he's shifted through a couple forms, going back and forth and like making comparisons. Okay. I can tell that this one, he puts a claw on Dunska and Skaha's book. There's people that don't belong here. I can tell.
Okay.
How?
Did you just ask how?
Yes.
I just... He shrugs. I can just tell.
This
Having
bird has
a
been on
day.
the verge of tears for an hour.
It's right. This bird has been on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
This bird
Share your
is
secrets.
anti-anxiety meds.
How do you tell? Share your secrets.
I connect to the library and the books, and it just seems a little weird.
All right. And I
Can't-
take the other
can't-
book and I put it on the thing.
Can't you tell when something is weird on your island if someone's been there, but you don't see them there anymore, but you can tell someone's been there?
Yes, and I can tell you exactly how. I smell them.
Well, I smell with my magic parts of my brain.
Okay, all right. I take the other
Okay,
book and I
I-
put it on the fun little
Yeah,
book opener thing, and I open it up. It's like, all right, what do you make of this one?
Okay. I will try very hard. I don't know if the quantity of people changes it. So he hops back up on it and like does the same little process that he did before and like sniffs and looks around and shuffles through the pages. Yes, something was weird here. There's something in here that doesn't belong,
Let's get him.
but I don't think it's him. But there is something in here that doesn't belong.
It is the story that he jumped into.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think there's another book in here that doesn't belong.
We fucking cracked it, gang. We did it.
It only took us like 2.5 hours.
We solved the bookception puzzle.
To be fair, we are on pace.
Hey, love.
We're on pace.
All right. So
We have to get him.
let's go into Dunskay, drop the pages off with Anansi, get Onyx, come back, jump into this book, jump into the next book, kick his ass. Get the Chronicler's tools back.
Kick the
My
Chronicler's
island
ass.
could be destroyed
Kick
by
the
then.
Chronicler's ass.
That
I
was out of
keep-
character.
I was leaving that part unsaid for Dewey's mental health.
That was the voice of God speaking.
Which one?
Had one too
There's
many
already
existential
one in the
crises.
party.
Me. Wahaha.
Janet's willing to believe that hell and the devil are like a physical place in person that could be interacted with in her world, but like actual confirmation that the Christian God is just kind of around, I think would be one too many for her.
You just like sup.
Oh, hey. Ugh.
The Bible exists in this library somewhere.
Which
I was gonna
version?
make a joke that we saw it earlier.
Which
There's
version?
probably a lot of versions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mishi was telling that was an actual thing, was that people would refer to Mishi Peshu as demons and thunderers as angels, and Mishi thinks that's stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like it.
It's the bad fan fiction version.
Yeah, she's like, that's just untrue.
It is
Just-
incorrect.
Actually, every colonial interpretation of any indigenous story is just bad fan fiction.
Like that's kind of what happened to the old gods of like Ireland and Scotland. Like they were retconned into like angels and saints when the church got there. It was just like, no, that's not what they were.
Things are more complicated than that.
Things are more complicated than that.
Middle finger.
We have, it's like we have one god now. It's like plebeians. We had
All right.
70
Losers.
minimum. Carrying on.
My God could beat your God.
Which
Yeah,
one?
my dad works for
one?
a better god.
My
Yes.
dad works for Nintendo and he can beat up your dad.
Yeah, well, my dad works for Nintendo's god, so
Oh, what's okay.
so Dunskay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where we want to head next.
Dewey, can we just take this book with us so we don't have to come back here, or as long as we bring all the books back to the main layer?
Yeah. He nods.
Okay.
We are taking it temporarily and promising to return it.
Yes.
That's
I
how
wonder-
libraries generally work.
It is?
Yeah. Yeah,
What a
you
strange
take
system.
You take books out and they write down who has it, and then you bring it back eventually. Ideally. Anyway.
Anyway.
As you're about to enter Dunska, you hear, dude, it's technically not a library, it's a collection.
Alright, well, the word library's been bandied about for the past 72 hours, Dewey. Forgive me for taking liberties.
Sorry. You've been very
Okay.
kind and helpful.
You are the best bird I know.
You
No
do
offense,
not know very many
Caulfield.
birds.
I don't, that's very true. But, you
Caulfield
know,
is not here.
Caulfield's not here to defend himself, so...
I don't know. Caulfield's in trouble with Onyx right now, so he's not the best bird at the moment.
Oops.
Oof.
Not that any of y'all know what's going on, but...
Alright. I crack open Dunske.
And you go in again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Blue sky do. We can do.
Wow.
Yeah, so you go through the same process again of hopping into a book. Actually, the second time, same book. And previous, you end up in these beautiful Scottish fields on an island. You see Skaha's castle off in the distance. Thankfully, that tear is no longer here.
Thank God.
And you do see the little settlement that your people and many other people and characters have set up camp at.
Let's go find Nancy and swap notes, I guess.
Yeah. Just like before, the dogs have a sixth sense.
Ah, come here, you wee ones.
Two big gray doggos. Was it Scrappy and who?
Shaggy and Scruffy.
Shaggy and Scruffy come running up at you. One goes right to you, Janet. The other one says hi to you, Maishi.
Oh yeah.
We do the thing where we just kind of like walk around each other in circles. And it's just like an approving nod.
Now that you're not killing each other.
Looking around, remembering what my dad said about the weeks of time discrepancy between us and them, does it look like any time has passed, like significant time has passed since we were here?
The grass is longer, but it's still the same season.
Okay. Great.
We could always ask Anansi or your father how long it has been.
Right, that's fair. I was just trying to steel myself for it having been like years. You know?
Either no time has passed, like a month, or years have passed for it to be the same season. And there's no way to know.
Well, my dogs are still alive, so that's a good sign.
Yes.
Let's just go.
And
But it's because they have plot immunity and your dad is dead.
No!
I'm kidding.
Jesus.
What did I name your dad again?
Hold on. It was something incredibly Scottish.
He's like, it's been 40 years.
It begins with an L, I think.
Lachlan, I believe.
Lachlan, that is correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the I'm literally a god who did nothing but violent destruction and rip people to shreds, and Mishi is the most savage one of this group.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I'd like to give
Yeah, Lachlan.
I want to give an experience point and cause a little bit of mischief and trouble. Camilla, do you want an experience point?
I would very much appreciate an experience point.
Cool, who's the other one for?
Mishi.
Yay!
Cool. You say yay or gay?
Yay!
Yay.
Both.
Okay. So, Camilla, this is your first time outside of the Feywild, and this is your first time in, like, somewhere else. And the threads of life are a little less under your control here. And as you're, like, walking across these fields with Janet and Mishi heading to basically the camp, there's just flowers growing underneath your feet. Bushels and bushels and patches of wildflowers as you're walking.
I love it.
And I think at least I think Mishi and Camilla would probably notice this, but like you, maybe even Janet. Attention of all so many small fae peeking their heads out from beneath the wilderness as they watch you pass.
There's I think at least as Camilla is walking and starts to realize the eyes on her, I think she gets self-conscious, not because she thinks the flowers have anything to do with it. I think she just feels like the way she walks is somehow wrong to people. There's like she's almost like just not choosing to realize the flowers are there. She knows they're there because she feels everything in this place. But there's just a sense of like, I know. Like, she doesn't understand what the concept of embarrassed or too much attention is. She's never had to deal with this.
You alright?
I appear to have made an entrance for us, and like turns to show all of the flowers.
Yep.
This has never happened to you before? And she's mostly gesturing to like all the fae looking at you.
Your mic did not pick you up whatsoever.
God damn it. I don't know why it's suddenly like not choosing to pick me up. I have to like put it like right here now.
You're also super quiet.
Eat the microphone.
God damn it. Why are you like this? Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God. I think there is... So I think her response to Yumishi is, most people, when they know that I am coming, do not greet me with awe or happiness. I have had occasions where people, when they believed my presence was going to arrive, began to scream and began to moan and wail in the hopes that it would keep me away long enough that I would not visit their homes and do my duty. So to have anyone even remotely interested in my arrival is, it is unnerving for me.
From what I recall, the entire forest and water and seas would still as my goddess would arrive. And she did not seem disturbed by this. It was a respectful silence.
I do not think anyone means me disrespect. I think they are actually quite enamored with my presence, and that is precisely why I am on edge. I do not know what it means to be looked at with anything remotely close to appreciation or interest.
I understand that.
You shouldn't. You're far too wonderful for that. And she just kind of like passes along that comment. Like she's trying her hardest to brush that off and just try and find Anansi as quickly as possible.
You have left behind this bright streak of color amidst the green of the grass as you have made your way to the encampment. And not everybody, but once someone has noticed your approach, Lachlan is there. You see your dad. He looks basically unchanged from when you
Oh, thank fuck.
you last saw him. Maybe a couple extra like stress lines, but
Okay, that's fine.
that's fine. He hasn't gotten any more gray hairs. There's no significant hair growth. He's not old.
It would have been awesome if like he came back. Hey Janet, I have a fucking awesome beard now.
He already had an
had
awesome
one.
beard. He already
Even
had
more
one.
awesome beard.
It's none of his like other descendants are here to greet you.
That'd be weird.
That would be very
Oh,
weird.
God.
Hey, if I came back to this camp and I had a bunch of half siblings running around, I would have been like, when, how, and why? Actually, I know the how. When, who, and why.
Yeah, do you really want the how?
No, I know
Don't
how.
want the how.
I am intimately aware of how.
I know how it works. You, Janet, are approached by your father and you are given a big hug.
Of course.
You're all right.
I'm fine.
We
How
saw
long
the
has it been?
tear and saw everybody running off towards it. You didn't even say
Yeah.
goodbye.
It was a sudden development. We had to go. Everything's fine. Titania's dead.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you remember my friend Camilla. How long has it been for you? How long has it been since we left?
A couple weeks.
Okay. Alright, that's still really weird.
I think it's been less than a day for us.
It's been, at most, it's been like 60 hours since we all met each other.
Huh.
This is crazy. Anyway, Camilla's the Fae Queen now. Is that fun?
He stops and he stares at you and looks back at you, Janet. Should I be concerned?
No. She's doing a great job so far, to be honest. It's still a work in progress. We're figuring it out. We put the fake court in their place. That was fun.
I'm glad everybody's okay, because you went to the Fae Realm
Yes, and it sucked.
and you're alive.
Aye. And Titania isn't.
I just feel like things are gonna get worse.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. We just came to drop off some pages with Nancy, and we've learned that there's more plot to this. There's some fecker named Reed who may have stolen tools from the person who runs the library in which all of our stories are kept. And he's causing trouble. So we're going to go find him and kick his ass and put everything right.
Wow.
And then hopefully we can all go home. It'll be fun.
That is a lot.
It is. It really is.
In the meantime, maybe we could help you rest, get some good food in you, heat up some water for a sponge bath, and...
Oh, honestly, that'd be great.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, no, come back to camp, we can get you food. He looks over at you, Wishi. We've got fishing boats now, so people have been getting fish.
This is very tempting. But Reed is still on my island.
Well,
Okay.
also your friend, Onyx, and a really
Hi.
big bird.
Yeah.
Came
How
in.
long have they been here?
Not long. Like
Okay.
a day or two.
Okay. I'm starting to figure out the time rate of exchange. I haven't got it quite nailed down yet, though.
Yep, yeah, come on, let's go.
Okay.
And maybe looks at all of like your soot-covered clothes. Maybe some fresh clothes?
Or how's Maggie? Is she still around?
Maggie's still around.
course she
Nothing is going to kill her anytime soon.
Nothing less than the hand of God could strike down that woman. And I think he's scared of her.
Would not surprise me. Alright, come on. And he leads you in. He's basically gives you this similar setup to before if you wanted a tent.
Mm-hmm.
general area. And it's like, you remember this is where that's located over here, so on
Aye.
and so forth. Anansi is, he told you, he would tell you Anansi's in the same spot that he was before.
Okay. Let's go see Anansi.
Death is not there. Camilla, so I feel like he would have given you a very intrigued look, but he's not there right now.
Like, are you taking on? Are you being a contractor or something for other domains? What is going on here?
What the hell?
Freelance work.
Yeah.
Internship program.
But is it paid? It's a very important thing.
You're paid in experience, baby.
America is so weird. Unpaid internships are not illegal in Canada, fun fact.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, worry about yourself. Why don't you?
Oh, I am. there's other things. It's not a perfect place.
Amaya assessed through very wide, vivid eyes of, oh no.
Amaya's here to break down our cultural preconceptions about Canada.
Let's go.
It's a lot gayer and a lot worse than you think. But the two are not related.
It's like Canada's gayer? I mean, maybe. I don't think so.
No. It's gayer than we think it is. It doesn't mean necessarily that it is particularly gay.
Everything
it
is
is
gay.
gayer than we
Everything
know
is
it
gayer than you think it is.
Hey.
Yeah, Anansi's just kind of, you find him near the same fire that he was before, but he's actually has a gaggle of children around him.
Aww.
And looks like he's just finishing up a story about how he captured a bunch of animals and creatures on the behalf of someone.
Yeah.
And how he chucked them into his web and delivered them.
Classic.
And then when he sees you approaching, and then he gives you a little wave. And then, hey, it's almost time for dinner. Go see your adults. Go get some food.
You adults.
Go see your adults.
Yeah.
We have your pages.
Some of them.
Some.
Hi to you too.
We have pages.
I'm not gonna get a hello. How are you?
Hello,
Good to
Anansi.
see
How are
Anansi.
you?
What is this about, Pages?
There is someone on my island. I am in a hurry.
We've got a lot going on, but we found some more missing pages, and we thought they'd be best kept safe with you.
I can hold on to them. What kind of pages did you grab?
A couple that we recognize. Are we keeping
Pieces of glass?
are we keeping our stories with us, or are we keeping everything with Anansi?
It's up to you.
I would say keep it with Anansi.
Okay.
Anansi's worth. It's literally like a god of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
If we can't trust a god of stories with our stuff, then we
Yeah.
truly have no allies.
Anansi's chill. It's
So
like,
chill.
these are this one's mine. These are a couple of Onyx. Do you want me to keep your shards with us, Mishi, or do you want to give these to Anansi? Didn't get that, Amaya.
I would like to keep them.
Okay, heard. And then
Do you hear? Here, hold on. And he looks into one pocket, goes into another, and then finally puts his fingers into one and holds out like a small little pouch, like a tiny one, like this.
that would have been so helpful yesterday. And there's little cuts on Janet's hands from every time she's reached into her pockets and cut herself on the glass shards.
Here for the shards of our lovely Mishi Peshu's story.
And here's one, and I pull out the couple of pages that depict Reed. Do you recognize this asshole?
I do not. Well, other than from another page that you've already seen that I have in my possession.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the story.
Well, I pull out the page that has the shards of glass sewn into it. This is his handiwork.
Shoddy handiwork.
I know. It's not good.
Is he trying to He looks at it. This is he using the Chronicler's tools?
That's what we think.
Ew.
You wouldn't happen to have a key to the Chronicler's workshop, would you?
No.
Okay, so it was worth asking.
No, but if he's using the Chronicler's tools, then he might be trying to... He makes a motion of just like, this, pushing things together.
Yeah. We don't know what
That's
he's...
concerning.
I want no part in that. I want my piece out.
Well, I can... This book doesn't look like it was finished, so I might be able to take these pieces out for you with minimal damage.
I trust that you'd be better at that than we would
Yeah.
be.
If the book was complete, I wouldn't be able to do it, but it's not bound, so it shouldn't be a problem.
If he figured out how to bind scraps of different stories together into a book, that would just create a whole new story.
In theory.
And all the other stories that are incomplete would...
Be so forever.
Have
I
to...
don't like that.
It's like a patchwork together.
What could he possibly have to gain from doing something like that?
I don't know, but...
He did not look particularly satisfied in the images in his pages.
Have you found any more pages of what I'm
Couple of-
assuming is his story?
A couple,
Maybe
Not
keep
look-
an eye out.
of course.
Might give more clues later.
How did he get out of his own story in the first place? To get his hands on the tools.
He shrugs. Stories are usually collected when, well, the chronicler talks to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes the stories told by those people and then writes them down or puts them into like a book or, in Mishi's case, the orb.
Well, as it stands, we're going on a bit of a wild goose chase, and I pull out the Teturbaja, which is what Janet's calling TTRPG.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Teturbaja. She doesn't know it's an acronym. And she goes, he jumped in here and then jumped into another story in there. So we have to go get him twice.
On my island.
On Meishi's island, yes.
Okay. That is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do this until you've rested up a bit.
But he is on my island.
Do you want to fight him and deal with the dangers when you're tired and at not full strength?
He's just a human.
A human who has magic under his hands?
Half of them do.
Is
that
not
normal?
You can do what you want, but I'm just saying, be cautious.
We have to wait for Onyx anyway, Mishi.
Mishi, think of it this way: how do you think you would be seen if you failed to abide by your duty?
I
Simply
am failing by not being there.
By completely failing, as in you perishing in the process of protecting your island simply because you're tired. Besides,
I
so
want to
wouldn't
be
you?
going as soon as we can.
I know.
First light, we'll go. But I don't want to leave Onyx behind. And honestly, I've had a headache for the past 6 hours. I need to lie down.
More importantly, wouldn't you like to be at full strength in order to tear apart this person with all of your fury?
There.
Yes.
Also, we don't know where Nanto went. What if he's back on the island too?
My focus is to prevent humans from being on the island. It is the Thunderers who just want me dead. They don't care for the resources on the island.
Right. Ideally, we can protect your island and keep you from dying at the same time.
Yes, Nanto being on the island would just be an insult to me, but I would not be technically failing my duties.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's rest up. You can go fishing with my da. And
Can I go fishing?
yeah, that's what I said. You can go. You can go fishing with my da. I'm not going fishing. I hate fishing. That's a character choice I'm making right now.
You're boring, you're sitting, waiting for something to bite a stick.
Literally, it's so boring.
Oh, that is not what Nishi thinks fishing is.
She's going hunting in the water for fish.
Yeah,
Completely different.
if I could do that, that'd be way more fun.
Nishi just dolphining in and out of the water in order to get fish.
Yeah.
Turns out Mishi was the Loch Ness monster this whole time. That's where the story gets started.
Different lake.
I know, but like, whatever. You going fishing here is what starts the rumor of the Loch Ness monster, is the joke I was trying to make.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, so let's finish this up by seeing what everyone does towards to round out the night. I'm just trying to read something in my DMs with someone, so who wants to go first to describe?
Mishi's doing exactly what we just said. It's like I think Lachlan is like about to push the boat out, and she's just like sprints past him and is in the water.
Beautiful. Fish.
And then like every once in a while, one will just like get thrown up out of the water and into the boat for him.
Aw, that's very nice.
Yeah, she's not taking all of them.
And a lot of these fish are ones you don't recognize, so they're new and tasty.
That's fine.
Hell yeah.
Yummy.
Camilla and Janet.
Why did you ask us both at the same time instead of
Okay,
individually?
Camilla or Janet. That was not intentional. Camilla or Janet.
It's fine. No, I just wanted to give you shit.
Little
Right now.
I will get
We
that
have
y'all back
fun
later.
here.
I'm gonna get one of y'all back tonight. It's fine.
Says you.
I'm the
Maya's
GM.
like,
I can
"I'm
introduce
not
intrusions.
I already got mine. I'm set. Anyways, I was actually wondering. I think Camilla would attempt to set like the things she has on her person down in one separate tent. But I think she still has that sense of everyone having been looking at her the entire time. And it's something that's like permeating all of her mind as she is trying to like calm down and get adjusted to that. And I think she, if you are fine with it, Charlie, I think she walks over to Janet's tent.
Yeah.
There is one, just a heads up, I do have one scene I want to do with Janet.
Yes,
after
yes,
this.
that's
So
yes,
good.
it's perfectly fine. I will try not to belabor details and such. Hello.
Hi.
May I ask something?
Of course.
Is all of this is all that I'm feeling right now also part of what it means to be friends?
Could you elaborate? What is it that you're feeling?
I think she moves closer to Janet. There's still some space. Oh my, there we just got a significant raid from Fawn in Games. Hello
Hey,
there,
folks.
Fawn in Games.
Hi, gang.
There are 45 of you coming
Oh,
in.
the timing.
The timing is great. You
You're
just came in
about
a
to
great
see
gay
gay.
moment. So
Gay
Big ol'
shit,
gay.
gay shit,
Hello,
gay
Fawn.
shit.
You're here for gay shit. Well,
Could not
well
be
done.
more perfect.
Holy fuck. Okay, here we go. You were saying?
I think she moves closer to Janet. There's still some space between them. I don't know precisely what any of this is. I don't. It might be better if I show you. And like holds out her hand again. In much the same way that like 2 days back when we first arrived and she showed you how she sees the world.
Mm-hmm.
The vivid sort of streaks of red, of like threads of blood moving through everyone's lives, you see that again, but now it's almost like a layer on top of it of greens and flowers and like roots spreading out from trees, and it's like every breath that she takes, you suddenly feel it's like if the earth itself had a breath, she's feeling that all of a sudden. And it's almost like she is carrying on and everything is fine. The pulse, you can hear it in the background, like her heartbeat, like boom, 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 boom. The moment people start looking at her, it's like boom, 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 boom. It like increases and she starts to be more stressed. And then it's almost like she looks and she doesn't see you. She sees the outline of blood that makes up all of your body. And it was kind of funny that you mentioned the like shards like cutting her hand earlier whenever she would get Mishi's things, because even that blood, she still sees traces of it like going through to the veins. But when she looks just in your direction, the pulse slows down for a moment, and then it also starts to beat up much faster and faster.
I know that feeling well.
Is this what it means to have friendship with somebody?
I think I've had very close friendships in my life, but I don't want to lie to you, this feels like a step up.
Is this what you feel for Tam?
It is.
I suppose this is not what you feel towards me, then.
I didn't say that.
I don't want to ask for you to entertain my confusion or my ignorance around all of this over any of your concerns or worries about Tam. I promise that I will hold on to being this, and like I think it's almost like the flowers that are trailing her, she like gestures towards it. I think even she doesn't realize whenever they're appearing. If it means making it easier for you to see Tam again, then I will hold on to it however long you need. I just wanted... I don't know any of these things. I've never been somebody who understood whatever any of these words, like affection partnership, love, any of these words mean. But I was hoping if it would be alright if I could be given some grace with you to discover what these things mean. And if only for tonight, whatever your feelings are, if I might lie next to you.
I think she's still holding your hand, and if you're okay with it, and she, maybe with a little more strength than she realizes, pulls you into a hug, just really, like, tight, warm hug, like arms crossed behind you. I don't know what to do with myself around you, Camilla.
I don't either, but let's find out. And she just hugs. She's not looking for anything else. She's not looking even for more affection or anything. She just needed a moment with a friend.
I think with a chin resting on your shoulder, and I'm sure Camilla's somewhat aware of it, but Janet is trying to hide it as best she can. Like, her heart is pounding, and I think maybe just like she is trying to keep herself from crying.
I think that's a nice spot to just end that. I think Camilla just wanted to ask if she could, just for this evening, just be next to Janet, just to not think about attention from other people right now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry to interrupt the gay.
we put a button on the gay.
But there is it's a tent, so you can't really knock, but the two of you feel a presence outside of your tent, and you both hear Petite's voice, actually. She's not angry or anything. She's just like, is this Janet's tent?
I walk over and I flip the tent flap open. What do you want?
She gives you a look at the attitude, but then just shakes her head and just crosses her arms. I'm actually here on behalf of Skaha.
Is that right?
She wanted to talk to you if you had a couple minutes. And this is actually where you're... would you like an intrusion, Janet?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's your second one for?
It's for Camilla.
Okay.
I look back into the tent and just goes, you get comfy. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't have to wait up for me. All right. All right.
That was pure Angela.
Camilla doesn't know what affection or desire is. Gutierrez.
No, Angela does. Camilla didn't know jack shit.
Yeah.
She gives you like a little bit of a nod, the two of you, and like she gives you a little like, hey, this way. And like I feel like walking away, and Mishi, if you see this as well, but definitely you, Camilla, now that they're standing side by side, same color palette.
They look almost exactly alike. So you're not dead. I guess the talk with Onyx went well then, for you.
We actually haven't talked yet.
Jesus.
It's been like 2 days.
Counting your minutes then.
I know she's here, I know she wants to talk, and I'm partially avoiding it. Still trying to... I think we're both trying to figure out our thoughts before we actually sit down. Also, I'm avoiding the bird.
I'd say that's an improvement from trying to kill her on sight.
Well, the bird tried to kill me on multiple occasions. So,
To your credit, I'm still getting a read on the bird. But he's Onyx's friend, so, you know.
regardless, I don't have any quarrels with you. You're fine.
Well, thanks.
Anyway, she's leading up the way to the castle. She doesn't even give she just gives like a nod and hey to the people, the guards out front, and just like walks in, going deeper into her castle and eventually like coming to a door, and she's like, she just asked me to bring you here.
Right. Well, thanks.
Do you need help finding your way out, or you got it?
I think I got it.
All right. Good night and good luck.
Hope you don't die.
Yeah, same. It's going to be very hard to kill me.
We'll see.
She goes. And I'm assuming you open the door?
Yeah.
You are led into basically a small antechamber.
Mm-hmm.
Let me change the music to something a little bit more appropriate.
Changing the tunes.
Yeah, let's see how this playlist goes. You are basically walk into a small antechamber, potentially of Skaha's quarters, though without going farther in, it's hard to tell. And when you enter, Skaha's there. She's not wearing her day clothes. It looks like she's in like a long robe and like getting ready for bed, essentially. And when you enter, she smiles slightly and stands to greet you. Janet.
Lady Skaha?
Thanks. Sorry for asking you to come here so close to the evening.
It's an honor.
She looks... She's not scared, but she's... looks apprehensive. Did you want anything to drink? Tea? Water?
Honestly, yeah, that'd be great. I haven't really eaten much in the past day.
She walks over. There were already two like mugs set out, and she'll pour hot water and tea leaves into one cup for you, and just push over like a small like loaf of bread and some cheese. Help yourself.
Many thanks.
And please take a seat.
Thank you. Oh, it's so much easier to just be able to take what people say at face value. The Fae are exhausting.
I heard. You all made it out in one piece, though.
Mostly. Physically. Emotionally is another story, but we're working on it.
She nods a little bit. And she takes a sip of her own drink and just, like, waits, letting you drink some food, get a couple bites, drink some tea, get a couple bites of food in, and it looks like she's trying to figure out how to say something.
If there's something you need to tell me, my lady, please, by all means.
How aware are you to the extent of my abilities in magic?
I've heard the legends that you're a master fighter of many disciplines, and you taught many heroes, both physical and magical, martial stuff.
How forthright were those legends about my magic and being able to see the future?
I'll be real, I missed that one.
I wanted to talk to you about something concerning that I saw and give you a warning.
Alright.
I want to preface this with, I don't want to alarm you, because the future moves and churns and changes at every second of every day. But if you continue to track this man, I'm worried for your safety and your life.
Why?
She pauses, hands wrapped around her mug. I saw you die.
Okay. Sorry, for clarification, when you say this man, do you mean Reed, the traveler, or do you mean Tamlin?
The one causing problems.
Okay.
Not your love.
You saw me die. Are you able to tell me how, or is that too much information?
I wasn't able to get a clear image, but a large, great beast with black scales and teeth.
Huh. Interesting.
Remember all the stuff that we just said about Janet and Petite looking alike?
Uh-oh. Okay. In your experience, when you see something, how likely is it to occur? I know the future's fluid, but is there like a percentage or a track record that you've...
More often than not, but not 100%.
Okay. I've worked with worse odds. I don't know what else I would do. I can't just leave my friends to do this on their own. It wouldn't be right.
She nods in understanding. I just wanted to give you a warning. In case you can change it.
I'll keep an eye out. Thank you.
I don't think it's close. I don't think it's around the corner. But it is on the path.
Things have been moving pretty fast for us, so around the corner might not be as far away.
I'm sorry to add to your troubles, but I felt it was too important to not say anything.
And the others, have you seen anything for them?
She shakes her head. I have not. And I doubt I would see one for your bat friend anyway.
It's fair. She defies normal limits.
Well, I was thinking more so that she's the one who brings the afterlife and not the other way around.
That's fair. Is it possible for connections between people to span different worlds in your experience? Have you ever come across something like that?
She shakes her head sadly. This is new territory for me and many others. I'm sorry.
Do you think it's possible to hold more than one person in your heart?
Now that, I know the answer to. And the answer is yes. I think it's silly to limit the amount of love and affection and care that a heart can have to people in the world. It is like trying to fit the entirety of a person inside a goblet, when in reality it is an ocean.
I'm learning I had more inside me, in all respects, than I ever thought possible. Shut up.
I will turn your camera off.
Thank you, my lady, for your insight and your wisdom.
I wish you and your companions the best, and if you need anything from me, any of you, please don't hesitate to come visit before you leave.
Of course. And hey, if I am gonna die soon, as long as it's not at the end of the Gaiabulga, I think I can handle it. Nasty piece of work.
Before you go, just be there for Onyx. I know she and Petite will be talking soon. I know they've been avoiding each other, but
yeah,
I don't know how it's going to end, but I do know it is going to be a difficult conversation.
Well, I'll be ready to do damage control.
I don't think anyone's going to die or attempt to kill anyone this time.
Be surprised.
You would be surprised.
Fair enough.
Good evening. Good night, Janet.
Good night, my lady.
And I think that's a great place to end for tonight.
Yay.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for session 7 of Journey to Book's End. We're going to go say hey, hi, who we are, where you can find us, and then figure out a place to raid for the evening. So who would like to go first, folks?
I can go first again.
Hell yeah.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I've been playing Camila Gutierrez. She, the vicious god who sees beyond and walks through the wild woods, and is apparently an extremely corny sapphic, according to at least one person in the chat tonight. So you have my blessings, friend, for all of your gentle ribbing. And yeah, that is me. You can find me over pretty much a lot of times at Girls Run These Worlds, and I have a new world I'm brewing.
It's great.
Ooh.
I am privy to the information.
I have some pretty amazing things that I'm going to be planning as of starting today regarding it. So we're going to see about getting that up on Girls Run These Worlds within the next few weeks. So we'll see. So keep an eye out for stuff there. That's me.
Love.
I have been Amaya. I play Mishi, a guarded beast who speaks for the woods? Speaks
The
for
land.
The
land.
land.
Got
I
it.
can't remember my own
How
character
long have we been
sentence.
playing this game?
7
Land.
sessions.
Speaks for the something. You
She's
can...
yapping.
Yeah. You can find me mostly at Instagram and Twitter at Amaya is okay. I do art stuff. That's me. I just do art stuff.
Really good.
It's
You should go
great.
check it
Oh,
out.
thank you.
So
thank
good.
you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hello, everybody. I am Charlie. I've been your Bonnie Janet for this evening. The resident Scottish bisexual polyamorous person, maybe? We're getting there. You can find me at GLCharlieG on Twitter or at Good Luck Charlie Grass on Instagram and TikTok. I do TTRPG stuff. I do acting stuff. I'm a voice and stage actor. I have a new gig later this month. I'm going to be performing at 54 Below for 54 Rules for Initiative, a Dungeons and Dragons cabaret, and that has live stream tickets. If people of the interwebs wish to tune in, it'll be a fun, silly little time. And yeah, I'm just truly just vibing out on the web.
Let's go. And hey, hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on all applicable social media, Archmage of Dice. I'm here. I'm currently only a Sword and Key exclusive at the moment. But you can find me here on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time playing in our flagship campaign, Horizon's Call. I also run tech for the Zenith game on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got a couple other games currently on the channel. We have Baldur's Gate 3, which is tomorrow evening at 9:30. Well, tomorrow it's at 9:30 Eastern. We're going to be finishing up some of our October charity games this month. Our Woodlands Gods on Friday, November 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the second half of A Night of Fright on Sunday, November 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern. We also have Humblewood at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, and I think that's it. So everybody have a lovely evening. We will see you next week, maybe some other future streams. And what we're going to do is we are going to go raid Neon Lights Roleplay, who is running their World Within You campaign. So have a nice evening, everybody. Take care of yourself, and go out and vote tomorrow if you're in the US. Bye!
Bye.